Job, chapter 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And this man was blameless and upright, fearing God and shunning evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 female donkeys, and a very large number of servants. Job was the greatest man of all the people of the East. Job's sons would take turns holding feasts in their homes, and they would invite their sisters and eat and drink with them. And the days of feasting, when the days of feasting were over, Job would send for his children to purify them, rising early in the morning to offer burnt offerings for all of them. For Job thought, perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. This was Job's regular practice. And here comes Satan. One day, the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also was with them. Where have you come from? Said the Lord to Satan. From roaming through the earth, he replied, and walking back and forth in it. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? For there is no one on earth like him, a man who is blameless and upright, who fears God and shuns evil. Satan snaps back and answers. Satan answered the Lord, does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not placed a hedge on every side around him and his household and all that he owns? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But stretch out your hand and strike all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. Very well, said the Lord to Satan. Everything he has is in your hands, but you must not lay a hand on the man himself. Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. Job loses his children and all of his possessions. One day, while Job's sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the oldest brother's house, a messenger came and reported to Job, while the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, the Sabeans swooped down and took them away. They put the servants to the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you. And while he was speaking, another messenger came and reported, the fire of God fell from heaven. It burnt and consumed the sheep and the servants, and I alone have escaped to tell you. And while he was still speaking, another messenger came and reported the Chaldeans formed 3 bands, raided the camels, and took them away. They put the servants to the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you. Verse 18. While he was speaking, another messenger came and reported, your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house, when suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on the young people, and they are dead, and I alone have escaped to tell you. Then Job stood up and tore his robes and shaved his head, and he fell to the ground and worshipped, saying, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all of this, Job did not sin or charge God with wrongdoing. And there is where I'll stop. For as you can see, Job was a righteous man, and God the Father handed him over to Satan. He did nothing, as we could see, is wrong to deserve this. But everything was taken from Job, as Satan asked, because why? Why did God allow? Not only allow, it looks as if he taunted Satan. See this? Have you considered my... It looks as though he taunted Satan to persecute Job. Have you considered my servant Job? When we look at this, we see that God was in control of everything that happened. As he goes, very well then, you can take everything that he has, just don't touch the man. So Job was persecuted by Satan, but Satan would not have been able to touch Job without the Lord's blessing. And here you're like, well, that's not fair. But here's Job's reply. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job did not sin or charge God with wrongdoing. Now, when we look at this, we say, how could God do such evil and not be blamed? But here's your problem. You see, everything that Job had came from God. And as we read in the book of Job, we see that Job had some problems with this until Job was questioned. And in that questioning, we see, brace yourself up like a man, Job, and answer me now, if you can. Which way is the home of the light? Can you put a hook in Leviathan's mouth? You see, the problem with people saying that God is evil because God is able to do what God's able to do because God is God and he owns everything and he made everything. God gave Job everything and God had the right to take it away. This passage might make a lot of these people who don't believe in so-called Calvinism pretty upset because, as you can see, the Lord is the one who said that this could happen. You see, God could have prevented it, but God provoked it. And you have to ask your question, why? Thank you.